better project. Gonna do a little work on something that Bo definitely cannot do, which is a single leg squat. He's more of a four-legged squatter when he does his squat days. So single leg squatting is the real advanced progression in terms of the squat movement itself. If we think about that as a pattern, we went over in some earlier videos our basic intro to squat, the counterweighted squat to a target. Breathing in, holding tension, I'm reaching out to balance myself, allow me to stay upright, flexing through the hips, knees, and ankles, getting to a little below parallel or whatever your mobility allows, and staying back up. That's kind of our basic squat. Then we talked about adding a little bit of load to it with the goblet squat, which also allows us, we can either do kind of the same range of motion or maybe even a little bit deeper as our flexibility allows. And those are great. Those are really important. But one thing about life and sports and human movement is a lot of times they don't happen on 2 feet. They actually happen on 1 foot. And so that's where single leg squatting comes in. It's a full range of motion movement. It's really kind of the ultimate test of your lower body, range of motion, flexibility, mobility, and strength. All kind of put together into one real challenge. And to be honest with you, this is one that I can't do through the full range of motion. And I really envy people who have those really amazing flexible ankles. Mine have gotten a lot better over the years, but I mean, I think I was basically born in ski boots when it comes to ankle mobility. I have this little Haglund's deformity, which happens to people who have really tight ankles when they're a kid. So I'm working through it myself. But you can see, if I try to do a single leg squat, I come down, I kind of run out of ankle range of motion and fall down about there. But there's a way we can still train it, even if you're like me and you're a little stiff through the ankles. And that's just like we did with the double leg squat. We take away a degree of freedom, add a little stability, and we use a box. So this is what this movement looks like. I set up here, breathe in, tap it, and stand up. So let's kind of back up and break down what happened there. With this, you notice when we're doing double leg squats, we're really focused on keeping a stable spine throughout that movement. We had the little dowel that we used in the last video. With the single leg squat, I actually don't care about that at all. It doesn't matter if my spine is organized because I'm not loaded. So I actually want to use a full range of motion. I want to be flex to the spine, flex to the hip, flex to the knee, flex to the ankle, basically everything at end range of motion to be able to accomplish this. So as I start, I'm actually reaching back and my back just immediately totally rounds, and that's fine. That's really what we're going for. One thing with this is we want to really move through the hip first. And what that means is that when you start the movement, when I teach this to people in the clinic or in the gym, I'll hold my hand in front of their knee and say, don't touch me. And then everybody will want to do this like this. Just kind of use up all of their ankle flexibility right away and try to come down and up. But that's really not going to allow you to move farther. Once you kind of run out of ankle, you're like, oh, you can't go any lower. If I, however, start with my hip and move back, I can get a lot deeper. And whoop, you see a little bit of my history of ankle sprains here and the instability, but I can still get down, tap, and stand up. Now, you can adjust the height of this based on what you can handle. It's going to be higher at first if you're new to this movement. And if you're at home, you're stuck home away from the gym, you can maybe stack up some of your old PT school textbooks or whatever you have on hand. You can lower it down as you get better. And then the other thing we can do as I'm working on these is just sit down first and then do kind of a single leg sit to stand. So that's just me getting comfortable with this range of motion, controlling, trying to avoid a plop, and then getting comfortable also with flexing. I gotta go nose over toes. That's a cue we use a lot in the hospital when we're teaching people sit to stand who are having trouble with that kind of basic transfer, is nose over toes, shift the weight, press up through my heel and the ball of my foot, kind of balance flat foot coming up. So that's the single leg squat. It's really something that we can use at a pretty basic level with a high surface, just sit down, stand up, single leg sit, stand. For a lot of people, patients in the clinic or athletes who are just kind of getting a hang of lower body strength and developing it, but it's also works at the highest levels for people who want to be challenged through a full range of motion. So definitely something you want to have in your squat training, your squat program. So give it a shot and let me know how it goes. Leave a comment. See ya.